The quiet night sky stretched endlessly above Maya Chen's small mountain observatory. Stars twinkled against the darkness, a familiar sight she had watched countless times before. Tonight, however, everything would change. Maya sat hunched over her equipment, her dark hair falling across her tired face. For 3 years, she had lived in this isolated place after leaving her government position. The memory still stung, her colleagues laughing when she presented her theories about possible extraterrestrial communication patterns. Pseudoscience, they had called it. Now she worked alone, scanning the cosmos night after night, searching for something the others couldn't see. The clock showed 2:17 a.m. when her radio equipment suddenly crackled to life. Maya jumped, nearly knocking over her coffee. Strange sounds filled the room, not the random static of cosmic background radiation, but something structured, rhythmic, repeating. "What is this?" she whispered, quickly adjusting dials and checking monitors. Her hands trembled as she recorded the incoming signal. The pattern repeated perfectly, mathematical sequences that couldn't possibly be natural. Maya's heart pounded against her ribs. After years of searching, hoping, and being ridiculed, here it was. Proof. The signal continued streaming data, and Maya worked frantically, applying the decoding algorithms she had developed during her years at the research center. Hours passed as she worked without rest, the sun rising outside her window unnoticed. When the first message appeared on her screen, Maya froze, reading it over and over. Danger coming. To repair. Cold fear washed over her. This wasn't a friendly greeting or scientific exchange. This was a warning. More data followed. Coordinates, timeframes, and detailed information about what appeared to be a fleet of ships moving through distant space toward Earth. Maya grabbed her phone, automatically beginning to dial her former boss at the National Space Communications Center. Her finger hovered over the call button as doubt crept in. They had laughed her out of the building 3 years ago. Why would they believe her now? But as the decoded message continued displaying information about the approaching threat, Maya knew she had no choice. Humanity's survival might depend on her swallowing her pride. She made the call. "Dr. Williams." "It's Maya Chen," she said when her former boss answered, his voice groggy with sleep. "I need you to listen carefully. I've received a transmission. Not from Earth." "Chen, do you know what time it is?" he grumbled. "If this is about your alien communication theories again." "I have proof," Maya interrupted, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I'm sending you the raw data and my preliminary decoding now." "There's something coming, sir. Something dangerous." Silence followed as she heard him receiving the files. Then, a sharp intake of breath. "This could be an elaborate hoax," he said finally, but his tone had changed. "Check it yourself," Maya replied. "The mathematical sequences are too precise. The astronomical data matches our own observations, but includes details about regions we haven't mapped yet." And the message. "I'll need you to come in," Dr. Williams cut her off. "Today. Bring everything you have." After hanging up, Maya stood at her window, looking at the peaceful mountain landscape around her small observatory. Soon, this view might be changed forever. She wondered how many other quiet mornings humanity had left. The message continued streaming into her systems. Maya returned to her desk, working to decode more details before her journey down the mountain. As new information appeared, she discovered something that made her blood run cold. Whatever was coming would arrive in less than 2 months. Maya packed her equipment with shaking hands. Her years of isolation and ridicule had prepared her for this moment, to be the only person on Earth who could understand the warning from the stars. She glanced once more at the night sky, now turning to dawn. The stars looked the same, but Maya knew the truth. They weren't alone, and soon, everyone would know it too. 23 days after receiving the alien message, Maya stood in a high-security underground bunker, surrounded by military officials and scientists who had once laughed at her theories. The room buzzed with tension as she pointed to a large digital star map showing the approaching void ships. Based on their current speed, they will reach Earth in approximately 2 months, Maya explained. Her voice was calm despite the fear gnawing at her insides. The dark circles under her eyes revealed countless sleepless nights spent translating the alien message. General Reed, a stern-faced man with salt and pepper hair, stepped forward. "And you're certain about the hostile intent?" "The message was clear," Maya replied, bringing up the translated text on the main screen. "They're called the Void Armada. They target developing worlds for resources and colonization. Earth is next on their path." The room fell silent as the reality sank in. Humanity's first contact with alien life would be an invasion. "There's more," Maya continued, pulling up another section of the decoded message. "I found strange references to human DNA throughout the transmission, almost like whoever sent this warning knows something about us that we don't." Dr. Williams, Maya's former boss who had personally apologized for dismissing her work, adjusted his glasses. "What kind of references?" "That's what brought us here," Maya said, gesturing to their surroundings. They were standing in a recently discovered facility deep beneath the Sahara Desert. 3 weeks ago, following coordinates embedded in the alien message, an international team had uncovered what appeared to be an ancient technological outpost buried under the sand for thousands of years. Maya walked toward a sealed metal door at the far end of the room. The message mentioned a key hidden inside human beings, something in our minds that makes us different from other species. She placed her hand on a smooth panel beside the door. For days, military scientists had tried everything to activate the strange technology, with no success. The panel suddenly hummed to life under Maya's touch. Lights embedded in the ancient metal began to glow, and strange symbols appeared, floating in the air around her like holographic projections. General Reed stepped back in surprise. "What did you do?" "Nothing," Maya whispered, equally amazed. "It recognizes me, or rather, it recognizes something in me." She studied the glowing symbols circling her. "These match part of the warning message. It's saying humans carry something special in our genetic code." The sealed door before them slowly slid open, revealing a chamber that had remained untouched for millennia. The air that escaped was surprisingly fresh, as if the room had been sealed just yesterday instead of thousands of years ago. Inside, they found a circular room with a single object in its center, a human-sized pod made of an unknown metallic material. It pulsed with faint blue light, as if waiting for someone. "This technology is far beyond anything we've ever seen," Dr. Williams said, carefully examining the pod without touching it. "Carbon dating of the outer facility suggests it was built at least 40,000 years ago, long before human civilization began." Maya felt drawn to the pod, an unexplainable connection pulling her forward. "I think I understand now," she said quietly. "The message wasn't just warning us about the void. It was leading us here, to this place." General Reed frowned. "Leading us why?" "Because whoever built this," Maya gestured to the ancient facility around them, "they left something of themselves in us, in our DNA." The message called them the architects. They visited Earth long ago and left this outpost as protection. Maya stepped closer to the pod, which seemed to pulse brighter in her presence. "The warning said humans have something the void fears, something that might save us all." The pod suddenly opened like a flower blooming, revealing a space perfectly shaped for a human body. "What happens now?" General Reed asked, eyeing the pod with suspicion. Maya took a deep breath. "Now we find out what the architects left behind." She stepped toward the open pod, knowing that whatever happened next would change humanity forever. The moment Maya's body touched the ancient pod, blinding light filled the chamber. Her back arched as if electricity coursed through her veins, and a scream tore from her throat. Scientists rushed forward, but General Reed blocked their path with an outstretched arm. "Look at the readings," he shouted, pointing to the monitoring equipment they had hastily set up. The screens displayed chaotic patterns of neural activity, unlike anything they had ever recorded from a human brain. Maya's body convulsed as the pod established a connection with her nervous system. Her screams echoed through the facility, making even the hardened military personnel wince. Dr. Williams pressed against Reed's restraining arm. "We need to get her out," he insisted. "This could kill her." Reed shook his head, eyes fixed on Maya. She knew the risks. And look, he pointed to the ancient symbols now swirling throughout the room, pulsing in time with Maya's heartbeat. Something is happening. Inside Maya's mind, a storm of information raged. Images flooded her consciousness, stars being born and dying, civilizations rising and falling across the galaxy, and beings of incredible power creating technology beyond human comprehension. The history of the architects unfolded within her. They had visited Earth long ago, recognizing something unique in the primitive humans they encountered, a potential for creativity and adaptation unlike any species they had found in their explorations. Facing extinction from the same threat that now pursued the void, the architects had made a desperate choice. They embedded a piece of their consciousness into human DNA, a dormant gift to be awakened when needed. After what felt like hours but was only minutes, Maya's screams stopped. Her body relaxed in the pod, which now pulsed with steady blue light. The scientists watched in amazement as the ancient technology merged with her thin threads of light, appearing beneath her skin like luminescent veins. When Maya finally opened her eyes, everyone in the room gasped. Her normally brown eyes now glowed with a faint blue light, the same color as the ancient technology. "Maya," Dr. Williams called cautiously. "Can you hear us?" Slowly, she sat up in the pod. When she spoke, her voice sounded strange, as if layered with something older and deeper than herself. "I can hear them," she whispered, looking at something beyond the walls of the chamber. "I can feel them coming." She rose from the pod with an unnatural grace. The scientists backed away as Maya approached a blank wall. When she touched it, the surface transformed into a viewing screen showing Earth from space. Several small objects, scout ships, were entering the atmosphere. "The first wave is here," Maya said. "They're testing our defenses." General Reed stepped forward. "How do you know this? What happened to you in there?" Maya turned to him, her glowing eyes focusing. "The architects built outposts like this one all around the world. Defense systems waiting to be activated by humans carrying their genetic legacy." She raised her hand toward the screen, fingers splayed. "And I can hear others like me awakening." Miles above them, in space, the ancient defense system activated. From hidden locations across Earth, energy beams shot upward, destroying the alien scout ships before they could report back to the main fleet. "My God," whispered Dr. Williams, watching the display. "You control that." Maya nodded. "Not just me. There are 12 others with the same genetic markers. I can feel them awakening around the world as the defense system activates." She turned to General Reed, her expression grave. "We need to find them and bring them here before the main fleet arrives. Alone, none of us can stand against the void. But together, with what the architects left us, we might have a chance." Reed immediately began issuing orders for search teams. As personnel rushed to carry out his commands, Maya stood quietly, her mind stretching outward, connecting with the others who were just beginning to understand their new powers. "How much time do we have?" Reed asked her. Maya closed her glowing eyes, sensing the approach of the massive void armada. 3 weeks. Maybe less. She looked again at the viewing screen where the destroyed scout ships had been. "The architects chose humans for a reason, General. Now we have to prove they were right." The sky burned red as the void armada surrounded Earth. Massive ships darkened the horizon like metal mountains, their weapons glowing with energy that could shatter cities. In the central command bunker beneath the Sahara, Maya stood with the 12 others like her, their eyes glowing with the same blue light of the ancient technology. "Tokyo is gone," a military officer reported, his voice breaking. On the main screen, live footage showed the devastated Japanese capital, buildings reduced to ash and rubble, London is under heavy attack. New York's defenses are failing. General Reed studied the global battle map, his face grim. In the 3 weeks since the first scout ships had appeared, the full might of the Void Armada had arrived. Despite activating the ancient defense systems, Earth was losing. Their technology is stronger than ours, Reed said, watching as another defense system failed in Brazil. Even with the Architect weapons, we can't match their firepower. Maya stepped forward, the 12 others forming a circle behind her. Each had been found across different continents, ordinary people who carried the special genetic markers of the Architects. Together, they had learned to access abilities dormant in their DNA for thousands of years. We don't need to match their technology, Maya replied. That's what the Architects understood about humans. We think differently. We're unpredictable, creative in ways they can't anticipate. She touched the central command table, and it lit up with her energy. The Void follows logical patterns. Their ships attack in perfect formations. Their strategies follow mathematical precision. And how does that help us? Reed asked, desperate for any advantage. We need to be human, Maya said simply. Chaotic, unexpected. The Architects gave us their knowledge, but they chose us because we're different from them. The 13 activated humans joined hands, forming a circle. As their minds linked through the ancient genetic connection, they began creating battle strategies that defied conventional military logic. Under their guidance, Earth's remaining forces launched seemingly random attacks that confused the logical Void ships. They're breaking formation. An officer shouted as the main viewscreen showed Void vessels moving out of their perfect geometric patterns, struggling to respond to the unpredictable human counterattacks. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity gained ground. The 13 coordinated Earth's defenses with their minds, adapting faster than the Void could respond. When Maya suggested targeting the communication systems of the alien ships instead of their weapons, the strategy worked brilliantly. Cut off from their central command, individual Void vessels became vulnerable. We've captured one, Reed announced hours later, as Earth forces successfully boarded a damaged Void ship that had crashed in the Sahara Desert not far from their base. The science team is trying to access their systems now. Maya felt a strange pull toward the captured vessel. I need to see it, she said, her glowing eyes intense. Aboard the alien ship, human scientists struggled to understand the foreign technology. When Maya entered with 3 of her awakened companions, the ship's systems suddenly activated, responding to their presence. They're running from something, Maya whispered as images flooded her mind through her connection with the ship. The Void. They aren't conquerors by choice. They're refugees, fleeing from a greater threat consuming galaxies behind them. Before Reed could respond, alarms blared throughout the command center. On the main view screen, the largest Void vessel yet had entered Earth's atmosphere, the flagship of the Armada. They're launching the final assault, an officer reported. Maya turned to Reed, her expression determined. We need to board that ship. The Void commander is there. I can sense it. That's suicide, Reed objected. It's our only chance, Maya insisted. If we can establish direct communication with their leader, show them what I've seen. She hesitated. The Architects didn't give us these abilities just to fight the Void. There's something worse coming. Something both our species need to fear. Reed looked at the 13 awakened humans, their eyes glowing with ancient power, then at the screens showing Earth burning. With a short nod, he gave the order to prepare the mission. As Maya and her team boarded the transport that would take them to the Void flagship, she received a vision that changed everything. We've been fighting the wrong enemy all along, she realized with sudden clarity. Maya stood before the Void commander, a tall being with skin like polished obsidian and eyes that swirled with galaxies. The massive bridge of the flagship hummed with energy as alien crew members surrounded her, weapons raised. Behind her, the 11 other awakened humans formed a protective circle, their eyes glowing with the blue light of ancient power. You fight well for such a young species, the commander said, its voice translating through the ship's systems. "But you cannot win. We need your world." Maya stepped forward, hands raised to show she came in peace. "We don't need to fight at all. I know what you're running from." Surprise flickered across the commander's alien features. "Impossible. You cannot know." "The Star Eaters," Maya said simply. "Beings of pure energy that consume suns and planets. They've destroyed your home systems, forcing you to flee across the galaxy." The bridge fell silent. The commander studied Maya with new interest, noting the strange light in her eyes. "How do you possess this knowledge?" Maya opened her mind, projecting the visions she had received. "The architects who visited Earth thousands of years ago left us more than technology. They left us understanding." Images appeared between them, holographic projections created by Maya's enhanced abilities. They showed massive cosmic entities moving through space, consuming everything in their path. The same entities that had driven the void from their home. "The architects didn't give us these abilities to destroy you," Maya explained. "They knew the real threat would come later. They prepared us to unite the galaxy." The commander circled Maya cautiously. "The architects. We know of them. A race that vanished eons ago." "They didn't vanish," Maya said, the revelation clear to her now. "They became us. They seeded their consciousness into early humans, hiding from the Star Eaters in plain sight. We are their legacy." As if confirming her words, the ancient power inside Maya surged. The 12 humans began to glow brighter, their combined energies creating a shield that rippled around them. "What you are witnessing," Maya continued, "is something neither of our species could achieve alone. Human creativity and adaptability combined with the architect's knowledge." A sudden alarm blared throughout the ship. On the main view screen, strange distortions appeared at the edge of the solar system. "They're here," the commander whispered, fear evident even in its alien voice. The Star Eaters had followed the void to Earth, hungry for more worlds to consume. Massive beings of pure energy began tearing into the outer planets, Jupiter's storms flickering out as the massive planet was drained of energy. "We will continue our attack," the commander declared, turning away from Maya. "We must take your world before they reach us." "No," Maya said firmly. "Together, we can stop them." The architects knew this day would come. It's why they chose Earth, why they left part of themselves in us. She reached out her hand to the alien leader. "Join minds with me. See the truth." After a moment's hesitation, the commander placed its strange hand against Maya's. The connection was immediate and overwhelming. Two species sharing knowledge across the gulf of evolution and space. When they separated, the commander faced its crew. "Cease all attacks on Earth. Redirect all power to defensive systems." Maya turned to her 11 companions. "It's time to complete what the architects started." Together, the 12 humans formed a circle on the bridge of the alien flagship. As their minds united, Maya reached further, connecting with General Reed and Earth's defense systems below. In an unprecedented union, human technology merged with void ships and the ancient architect systems. The Star Eaters approached Mars, beginning to drain the red planet of its remaining energy. But as they moved toward Earth, they encountered something new. A mental shield created by the combined consciousness of two species fighting for survival. Maya stood at the center of the shield, her mind expanded beyond human limits. Through her, the creativity and unpredictability of humanity flowed into the rigid void minds, creating defense patterns the Star Eaters couldn't anticipate. For 3 days, the battle raged at the edge of Earth's orbit. When it finally ended, the Star Eaters had been driven back, unable to penetrate the United defense. In the aftermath, Maya watched from the flagship's observation deck as void ships helped rebuild destroyed Earth cities. General Reed joined her, looking out at the stars that now represented hope instead of danger. "So what happens next?" he asked. Maya smiled, her eyes still glowing with the legacy of an ancient race that had found its future in humanity. "We create something new," she answered. "Together."